Hey everybody, Rob Hogue, the Bass Stalkers. I'm here with Dean and Joey. This is our first real, kind of interactive video where we've kind of, all together, where we joined forces kind of. We've changed it from Bass Stalker Fishing to the Bass Stalkers to try to give you guys more content, better content, and kind of a look inside the life of kind of like an up-and-coming angler. And you get 3 different perspectives this way. So what we're gonna do to introduce you to the new members and also to tell you a little bit about myself, we're gonna do kind of like a Q&A session with each of us, just so you kind of get to know a little bit more about us. So I guess we're gonna start with me.
Okay. So, Rob, start to talk a little bit about yourself.
All right. So my name's Rob Hogue. I'm 38 years old. I've lived in New York most of my life. I did go away and lived in Germany for a little bit, South Dakota for a little bit, but I've been fishing since I was about 10 years old. About 2.5 years ago, I bought my first bass boat after wanting one for many, many years. I jumped right into tournament fishing, which was kind of difficult for me because I didn't have a lot of the general knowledge that you learn fishing off of a boat. I've had some early success, and I just like going out there catching them. I like the lifestyle of a fisherman, and hopefully one day, once I retire from my current job in a couple years, I can do something within the fishing realm for the rest of my life. All right, first question. Here we go.
What's your favorite way to catch?
I would have to say, let's see, probably punching. We're lucky here in the Northeast to have a lot of different type of fisheries. We have hard bottom areas where we can go chase smallmouth, and we also have areas with a lot of vegetation. And punching in that like matted up nasty milfoil or water chestnut like on the Hudson, I just like it. You have that real heavy rod, you're throwing 65-pound braid, and every time you set the hook, you don't know whether it's a 2-pounder or a 6-pounder. It's in that anticipation when you do finally set the hook. It's, I don't know, it's full contact fishing kind of. Yeah, that'd be it.
All right. In your opinion, what is the most important thing to become a successful tournament angler?
Oh man,
That's a good question.
I think having your head on straight, honestly. I think anybody can learn the techniques. I think anybody can learn the seasonal habits of fish and areas to find them and ways to get bit, but I think in tournaments, a lot of tournaments are mental, and we've seen it with people we know. We've seen it at people at different levels of fishing. If your head isn't right and you're somebody who lets it get to you and you can easily get spun out and stuff like that, it can like destroy the rest of your tournament day. And I think having a good head and being able to stay calm and you make better decisions, I think, when you're calm. Than you do when you're all flustered. So I think being able to keep a clear head is probably one of the things that's going to help you the most as a tournament angler.
All right, now you talked about like your favorite way to catch them. What's your top 3 setups?
All right, top 3 setups. Probably, and it was kind of difficult, and I'm sure it was difficult for all the guys coming up with 3. So what I did was I didn't pick ones that correlated necessarily with my favorite ways of fishing. I tried to look at my rods and figured out which ones were perfect for that application. So this is my flipping rod. It's not one I use for everything. It's one that I use for like wood or even around sparse vegetation. It's a Fitzgerald Stunner HD series, 7.3 heavy. I run 20-pound fluoro, P-line fluorocarbon 100%. With a Smoke S3 8 1-to-1 reel. It's just a perfect setup. It's got just enough tip, but it's got a lot of backbone. It's light in your hand. I like the thin grips that Fitzgerald, the Stunners have. It's just comfortable, and I can go, I think it's a good length. 7.3, it's a little longer, so I can get the fish away from the cover fast. And I caught them flipping brush and stuff, and it's a perfect rod for that application.
Did you say what line you throw on that?
I throw a 20-pound P-line, 100% fluorocarbon.
Okay.
My second would be, this one's a little pricey, but if you fish at a lake that has a lot of docks and you just like skipping docks, it's definitely well worth the money. This is a Fitzgerald rod, Brian Thrift's signature series skipping special rod. It's a 6'9" heavy, but Joey, I think you have some of these. This tip is ridiculous. This tip, I could skip before. This rod makes skipping so much easier. And then paired up with the Quantum Smoke S3, again, 8:1-to-1 gear ratio, 20-pound P-line, 100% fluorocarbon. It's really the perfect setup for skipping a jig. I wasn't that great at it before, and it's probably because I was trying to do it with equipment that wasn't really made for this technique. But once I got this, I definitely saw my skills when it came to skipping a jig elevate very quickly. So that would be my number 2.
Add in on that one?
The what?
Could I add in?
Yeah, go ahead.
The great thing about this rod too is it's got power to get them out.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's a 6'9" heavy, you could boat flip big bass on it. I boat flipped a 6.5 pounder on Champlain with it. It's
He's
very,
just trying to get in there.
you know,
6.5 pounder.
it's a stout rod, but it's got a nice.
Yeah, if you
profile
can
to it.
boat flip a 6.5 pounder, it's gonna get out whatever you need to get out. Now my third, and this one's a lot more affordable, and it really is a versatile rod. It is a 6'9" medium action Fitzgerald Versa Series rod, spinning rod. I use this. This is like my more finesse spinning rod. I fish Ned rigs on it, Nico rigs on it, drop shotting, those small little football head jigs, hair jigs you could throw. You could throw a light like marabou jig on here. It's really a very versatile spinning rod. The only thing I really don't throw on this rod is heavier tubes. Like anything 3/8 or up, I wouldn't throw on this rod. I would throw it on the 7.2, I think it is,
Yeah.
medium heavy.
That one's just got too much tip.
Right. And this, but the thing you need to understand about the Versa spinning rods is they're actually lighter. Like a 6'9" medium is not your traditional medium. I almost think it's like in between a regular spinning rod's medium and a regular spinning rod's medium light. So it's really perfect for a wide variety of application. I pair this up again with the Quantum Smoke S3 spinning reel this time. It's a 30 series reel. I run either 10 or 15 pound P-Line CCBX braid, high vis yellow. Normally on my drop shot rod, I'll run the 10, and on like my other one of these that I have, I'll run the 15 because I'm throwing more Ned rigs and stuff like that. But
Any
that would be-
specific reason for the 30 size?
I just prefer the 30 size. I don't like a big bulky reel. I think the big bulky reel on this 6'9" would almost be too big.
Yep.
The other rod that I'm getting this year is the General Purpose Series, and that's a 7.3 medium, and that's going to be my drop shot rod when I'm fishing deeper, bigger water. And then there, probably the 40 series would work perfect for that. And the reason I use high vis yellow is because of the watercolor.
Yep.
I just think you get a better visual against the water, where if you throw the green, a lot of times it's going to blend in with the water, so you won't see those bumps on your line and things like that. So, but those are my 3. Let's move on here. What's next? What's my next one?
What is your favorite fishing memory?
My favorite fishing memory, it really doesn't even have much to do with me. Would have to be this past year. We all fished it. We fished a little derby up at Saratoga Lake up in New York, and it was a team tournament, and I actually brought my 9-year-old Caleb. You've seen him on a couple videos. I brought him as my teammate, and it was the first time he's ever fished a tournament, and it was gonna rain that day, so I was real worried about that, like him wanting to be fishing when it's pouring down rain. And about 20 minutes in, we get to our first spot, and he's throwing his football head jig, which is what he seems to freaking throw all the time. And we're not getting bit. And it was an area I got some bites in practice. And first tournament fish ever. It was I think it was like a 5'1" or 5'2" largemouth. And that lake does not. We all know it doesn't have a lot of big ones.
Yeah.
And he's howling. I thought I had Ike and Ellie in my boat, and we get it in the boat, and I'm like, I see the fish like jump like way out there. Now I get nervous because I'm like, oh man, this is big. We get it in the boat. He was up the rest of the day. He casted the rest of the day. I think he caught 15 fish that day. The most fish he ever caught in his life in one day. We probably together caught 50 fish all together in the boat. We caught an above average weight for that lake, and we ended up finishing second to Joey. But even though we didn't win, we were both out there. It was crappy conditions. We both had an awesome time. He caught a big fish. He ended up winning Lunker that day, so he made some money. So it was just a good day. Even though I broke my Ultrex that day, it was a good day. So, what's next?
All right, you have to pick largemouth or smallmouth.
That's tough. If I had to answer right now, I would say smallmouth. And 4 years ago, I don't even think I ever caught a smallmouth until 4 years ago. But being that we fish a lot of lakes that have smallmouth,
Yeah.
and a lot of our club tournaments are won with smallmouth. So I think I've just gotten so used to catching smallmouth, and when you hook a big smallmouth, I mean, you catch a 5-pound smallmouth and a 5-pound largemouth, there's a huge difference in the fight and how crazy those fish go. I've said it many times. I just think they're just mean fish.
Yeah.
But a lot of that I think is determined by the lakes we fish. Some of my favorite ways of fishing are largemouth, flipping and punching and throwing a frog. Like, that's all largemouth stuff. But the fight of the smallmouth, just, I don't know, I love it.
All right. So, who are your top 5 anglers?
Man, I can't say like me, Joey, and Dean, right? Okay, so this is in no order. I mean, we've talked about this before, and I've kind of realized I like guys who just get it done. I'm more of a winner type fisherman, like, as opposed to like, you know, like consistency. Jason Christie's in my top 5. Like I said, no particular order. Jason Christie, KBD, Brian Thrift, all winners. Greg Hackney, he's probably one of the coolest fishermen ever. And then if I had to go number 5, it's tough because it's between 2 guys. I would have to say Brandon Polnick, because he's young, he's a freaking stud, man, on the water. He just gets it done, and he can win. Like, I think you talked about it before. He can win doing it with largemouth or smallmouth.
Very versatile.
Yep.
All right, so with the schedule and all the tournaments that you're fishing this year, which one are you most excited for?
We talked about this before, and it's probably a different answer than I said last time. The one I'm looking forward to the most is probably 6-man team, St. Lawrence River. Even though I think we're traveling together for most of the state tournaments and stuff like that anyway, I want redemption, man. We went up last year. We were the most inexperienced boaters in the club. We qualified for the team. We went up as boaters, and we went up against a lot of local dudes that fish up in northern New York all the time. And we were consistent. We had game plans. We worked well together, and we came in second, which I don't think anybody was expecting that from us. And it was actually the first time our club has cashed a check up in the 6-man team. So
A lot of fun.
I think with the squad we have going up there this year, with massive smallmouth up there, I think we have a chance to shock them again, and hopefully finish one place better than we did last time.
Yeah.
That's it for me. I'm done talking.
Thanks, Rob.
So we'll go with Joey next. We'll save Dean. We'll save a reigning Angler of the Year for last here. So, tell us about yourself, man.
All right, Joey Friend. I'm 23 years old, construction worker. I've been fishing for I don't even know how long. Probably since I'm about 4 years old. Just love to compete in tournament bass fish. That's
Nice.
it.
All right, I guess I'm starting you off with some questions.
Okay.
Just like me, what is your favorite way to catch them?
That's tough. Fishing a jig, a half-ounce jig, flipping it, to wood, grass, rock, stuff like that. I just love the bite. I love, the hook set and everything. Fishing with a big rod most of the time and big one.
Kind of like I said with the
Yeah.
punching, it's full contact.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yep.
Cool. Go ahead.
What is the best part about tournament fishing?
That's a great question. Probably the emotion that goes into it. You blast off in the morning, you're chasing down boats, or you lose a big fish and you just feel heartbreak, or you got a good plan, you go out and execute, and things go your way, and you do the right thing, and you get the job done, or you have a good finish. Still you feel like accomplished and like you got the job done.
A lot of emotion, definitely. And it can always depend on like that one small little thing that either goes your way or
Yeah.
doesn't go your way.
Exactly.
All right, you're young. You're the youngest out of the three of us.
Yep.
How old are you? 23?
23.
23 years old. Man. Already has a bass boat. Living the dream. All right. So what are some of your future goals in fishing? Whether it's being a guide, whether it's what are some of your aspirations?
Well, I like to take it like step by step. You know,
Smart.
start small and work my way up the ladder. I don't want to jump into anything that I'm not ready for. I think it's a waste of your time, a waste of your money. I think you should work your way up and try to prove yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So goal for me this year is to win Angler of the Year. I've come close many times. I've been in the club for a while now. Got a lot of seconds and thirds, and I'm looking for that first. But my overall goal and dream is to become a professional fisherman. That's something I've always wanted to do. Growing up, I always used to hear my grandparents and everybody,
Right.
new friends and family, they'd
Right.
say, "Oh, I hope to see you on ESPN one
Right,
day," and
right.
stuff like that. And I've
Yeah.
just always wanted to compete at the highest level.
Yep. Nice.
All right. So, if you had to pick, largemouth or smallmouth?
That's a tough question. I love them both, but I'm gonna go with largemouth just because it just fits my style. I like to, like I said, go out with a big rod, big line, and just go stick them.
Nice. You get the same one I got. Top 5 anglers. Let's hear it. Pro anglers.
Pro anglers.
You can't say me. Oh, Dino. What?
I'm sorry.
My top 5. That's a good question too.
You can't say me and D.
Steve Kennedy. I just like,
Damn.
how he's like. I can't really describe him. He's
Gets
just
it
a guy
done.
that just goes out there and goes
Yeah,
fishing. He
yeah.
doesn't need to have the latest and greatest equipment.
I think we were
he
talking
fishes with
about it
wood reels.
before. He's like Steve Kennedy is somebody no one ever picks. Like he's rarely ever the one that Zona's like, oh, you guys got to watch out for Kennedy. He's gonna get it done. But then like when he's there,
Yeah.
no one's surprised.
Yeah. So, Steve Kennedy.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with Greg Hackney just because his style kind of fits my style. I kind of, emulated off his style. Jig fishing, big rod, big line,
Beard.
beard. He don't have. Does he have a beard again?
I don't know.
I don't know. He looked good.
He
with
did
beard.
one, though.
He
did
did
one
one. Another guy. Ooh, this is tough.
That's 2.
Two. Man. Gerald Swindle. He's funny and he's very
He's
consistent.
real funny. Yeah.
He can catch him he's like a Brandon Polnick. He can catch him no matter what. He can go flip or he can go out and catch smallmouth. So definitely him. That's only 3, right?
That's 3. Yeah,
Mm.
you got 2 more.
Woo. Seth Fighter. I like him.
He's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude, and he's also another guy that can catch him, flipping or smallmouth fishing. I really like his style, and he's got.
I give
some
love
nice
to the
flow.
northern anglers
Yeah,
too
hell
because
yeah.
we grew up catching both.
Yeah.
We have to be able to catch both.
And then my last guy, I'm going with a guy that Rob really likes, Chris Johnston. That dude's a hammer. He's another northern dude, up in Canada. I think he's gonna make a big splash on the Elite this year, and
He already has.
Might, yeah.
Yeah.
He might make a run at Angler of the Year. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. We see the rods leaning on your knee.
Yep.
What are your top 3 setups?
Okay. So my first rod is a Kistler light, medium, heavy. It's a 7.3. This is my Kitech rod. Kitech is a big part of northern fishing. Rocks, grass, all sorts of things. You can fish it all different ways. This is more of my open water, rocks, stuff like that setup. I think it's a perfect setup. It's got a nice light tip so you can feel, but it's also got a good backbone that you could actually drive the hook in. I paired that up with a Quantum Tour MG 7-1, 12-pound P-line tactical fluorocarbon, and I like to use a quarter to a half-ounce head. It just depends on what I'm fishing, but those are my 2 go-to sizes. Next would be the old jig stick. It's a 7.4 heavy action Michael McClelland Falcon jig rod paired up with a Quantum Tour MG 7-1. Don't have any line on it, but it's going to have P-line 20-pound tactical fluorocarbon. And this is my main setup for, like Rob said, flipping wood and stuff like that. Just getting it done with a half-ounce jig.
Yep.
Now my last setup is my drop shot at the end of the year, I was fishing a lot of tournaments, a lot of back-to-backs, and I was struggling to catch them on any other thing else but besides the drop shot. So I spent a lot of weeks with this rod in my hand, and I caught a lot of fish on it. It's a Dobbins Champion Extreme HP. It's an expensive rod, I know, but you know, I feel like what they put into it with the blank, you know, guides, all that, it's just a very balanced rod, very sensitive. And I think it's something you really need when you're drop shot fishing or any finesse fishing. When you really want to feel that bite, it's critical. You know, you can feel it coming over rocks and whatnot. And like I said,
and just like the thrift rod, when it comes to prices of rods and stuff, obviously you're gonna buy what's in your budget. But I have no problem spending a little bit more money on a rod if it's something that I'm gonna use a lot.
Yeah,
Like up north, like you said, we do a lot of drop shot, or we use a lot of finesse rods for certain
Yep.
things because like a lot of the lakes we fish have
That's
a lot
how
of
I set
tournament
up.
pressure and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
we have to use certain rods a lot,
Yep.
and you do get when you do spend a little bit more money, you do get a little bit more quality.
Yeah, you,
I don't
you
mind
get what
if
you
I
pay for.
exactly, and I don't mind if it's going to be a rod that I'm going to use all the time.
Yep. And I like to run doubles in my stuff. So.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like you said, if we use it a lot up here, you know, I like to have doubles. I like to have two
Right.
options on my front
Right.
deck. I don't want to waste time in a tournament and retie.
Actually, Lillanona this year, I literally had 3 rods with the bait I was
Yeah.
bed fishing with.
Yeah, you don't want to retie. You know, you don't want to
You
waste
just want
time.
to get in there.
So the reel is a Quantum Smoke S3. It's a 30 size, like Rob had on his
Great
drop
reel.
shot rod too. I got some old braid on there now, but I'm going to be respooling it with some P-line TCBX braid. I'm going to go 10 pound on this rod, and my other drop shot rod will have 15. You know, just nothing really crazy. Just maybe on this one I'll use a 6 pound leader, and the other one I'll use an 8. Nothing real crazy, you know. But yeah, that's my drop shot
Nice.
setup.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah. All right. This is another tough one. Real tough one.
These guys like asking the tough
Yeah, I
questions.
know, right? What professional angler do you think you fished most like? Did I say that right? You think you're most like? Yeah, your fishing
Ooh.
style's most like.
Well, I'm not on any level like that. But,
No, but like
like
tendencies,
I said,
the way you approach things.
no,
like,
like I said in my top 5, Greg Hackney. Just because, like I said, I kind of like base my
Yeah.
style off his style. You know, I like to go out there with a plan. These guys always say, you know, I try to make something work for myself. I pick a deal and try to, you know, go based on that and try to make that work for myself. Sometimes it pays off and sometimes it don't. I'm trying to learn on the days that it's not paying off to adapt better
Mhm.
and try to, you know, pick up something else and try to do something else. You know, I think that's what's going to help me in the long run. But yeah, I guess I'll go with
Nice.
Greg Hackney.
I can see that definitely. All right, you know whose turn it is. Dino.
Ooh.
Here it is. First look at Dino. All right, so start like the same way we started. Like, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
31 years old, construction worker. I got my bass boat last year. Last year was my first year with a bass boat. You know, I've been fishing, you know, since I was a kid. Ever since I could walk. I really got into bass fishing seriously maybe about 5 years ago when I joined the club as a non-boater, and you know, I just worked my way until I got a bass boat, and
Yeah.
where I'm at.
Oh yeah.
I've fished with Dean a lot, and you know, when we first met when he joined the club, you know, we were two kind of awkward dudes that, you know, kept to ourselves, and we just loved the bass fish, so we hit it off and started bass fishing together. He's one of the best jig fishermen I've ever seen, I've ever been in the boat with.
Damn, son.
Yes.
I owe a lot of what I know about a jig.
He ain't taught me no jig tricks, so.
He's very secretive.
All right, I guess I'm starting off. So we'll start the same way. What is your favorite way to catch them?
Well, Joey just made it clear. A jig.
Yeah.
I don't get to always do it, but that is my favorite way to catch them. If I had a choice, I would fish like that every single
Yeah, we
every
don't
time
get to
I
do
went
it
out.
very often.
Basically just a half ounce or, you know, anything. You know, 3/8 to a 5/8 ounce jig, and just go flipping everything that looks good. Grass, wood, rocks, anything.
Yep.
Just the best way to catch them.
We've had some great days flipping jigs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dean, what was the funnest tournament you ever fished?
All right.
Weren't we just talking about this kind of?
Yeah. So, it's actually a tournament I did not even come in first. I actually came in second. But the way it just set up and what happened, that it was the most fun I've ever had. I was screaming on the way back into to weigh in.
You were literally just screaming.
I was screaming as I
Wow.
was driving the boat.
When
I
was it?
Solo.
When was it?
It was last year on the Hudson River in August. And
Tough time to fish.
That's
it
a
was
tough
it
time
was
to fish.
it's a tough time to fish the Hudson. And I had 3 fish in the boat. I got them fairly early. I was on my way back in, and I fished a spot earlier that looked good. It felt good, so I pulled in there real quick. I even kept my life jacket on because I was running out of time. I got up.
Nice.
I skipped a tube up under a little bridge pylon.
Yep.
Hooked up, got my 4th fish, cast right back in there, got another one. I looked at my
Man.
clock.
I was
I
scared
had-
he wasn't gonna make it in.
I had
Wow.
5 minutes to get back, and I had a couple miles to go up the river, and I was like, I'm gonna try. There's so many fish. There's fish here. I have to try. I got another one. I culled them out, and I got back. I got on the motor and ran back in. Like I said, I was screaming. Unfortunately,
Wow.
I came in second, but it was very exciting.
That's impressive. All right. Same question. Largemouth, smallmouth.
Largemouth.
Yeah, and Dean's been the smallmouth master this year. Too.
Yeah, last year, almost all my tournaments, I've caught them all smallmouth. My best tournaments were on, catching smallmouth, but largemouth is where my heart is. I don't think
And
that's
he
ever
was
gonna
scared.
change.
He was saying, "Oh, I don't catch smallmouth. I don't like to fish smallmouth. Look at this guy. He's out there.
Yeah,
He gets smallmouth."
I never fished smallmouth before. In my
I
first
think-
2 years in the club, I caught
This-
so many more smallmouth.
This might sound crazy, but I think smallmouth are a little easier to catch.
I think
a little
they
more.
are. I think it depends on the
It's
time
when
of
you
the
find
year.
them, I think they're easier to catch.
I
The
think
is
they're
finding
harder
them.
to find.
Yes.
I think they're harder to find, easier to catch.
Yes.
Well, like
I
everybody
agree.
says, they're like more of like a aggressive
They're
feeder.
mean.
You know,
They're
they're
so
just
mean.
aggressive. They want to attack something.
And the reason I say largemouth is because it's like these guys saying with close combat, you're flipping, pitching. Yeah, I mean that's not the only way you catch largemouth, but that's my favorite way to
Yeah.
catch them.
And I think
That's
the only
why.
reason my answer was smallmouth is because I think because it's so new to me, it's like almost like you're starstruck.
Yeah.
You
It
know
was,
what I
it was
mean?
definitely a hard decision because
I
they
just like
fight
catching.
so fun and
I just like
they're just
catching
fun to catch.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it? It's your turn.
Top 5 bass anglers.
Professional.
I didn't know I was getting this question, but Seth Fighter, he's got the flow. I got
Does
the
have
flow.
flow.
You know
He's
what I
just a
mean?
cool dude.
Yeah,
we
we
met
met
him.
him
Cool.
this a few weeks ago. It's very cool.
Yeah.
He's a northern guy, fishes grass but catches smallmouth,
Yeah.
just like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else? Greg Hackney, just like these guys. He's just awesome. Power fisherman. He gets it done. It's not, and he doesn't just flip. He does it always.
He would be the dude, I think, out of everybody. You would have the most fun fishing with that dude because he's
Yeah.
just a funny dude, man.
Brian Thrift, GOAT. That's all I gotta say about him.
Oh, I forgot about
Hey, the
Brian.
goat.
Oh man, that's
You mean the goat
I
below
love-
KVD?
Yes.
You can't argue
he's,
KVD.
He's the new GOAT.
Yeah, he's the goat.
He's the current GOAT.
Yes, the current. Yes.
Okay. So I got 2 more.
Yep.
Stevie.
It's tough.
No. This is hard.
It is
I'll
hard.
make this as bad as the video. Yeah, my last 2. I think I have to go with Steve Kennedy. Sponsorless. I like it. He just gets it done.
He does.
He's a great fisherman. And my 5th would be Aaron Martins.
Yeah.
He's just one of the best all around fishermen.
Good dude.
Instinctual.
Yep.
He's just he knows how to catch them.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch.
He knows more about fish than the fish do.
Yeah.
If that's even, I don't even know if that's possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's it.
Whoa.
I didn't do all my questions.
We still have another question.
got 3 more.
Oh,
3 more.
damn! I'm trying to cut you short. All right. Oh, here we go. And it's my turn. What are your goals this season?
Okay. Well, I won Angler of the Year last year in our bass club.
Wow, way to rub it in.
I would. One of my goals would be to get to do that again, repeat. And we're gonna be fishing. We're all gonna be fishing more some bigger open tournaments.
Yep.
The state tournaments, and I would like to do well in those tournaments. That's a big goal of mine.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want to cash a couple checks in those.
Yeah.
Man. I think my goal for us fishing those events is I want to put Southern New York on the map.
Yeah.
too long those
I
guys
agree.
have like reigned supreme up there.
Yeah. I would like us to get my personal best.
We're going to St. Lawrence. You're going to get your personal
Not
best.
small
You mean
mouth,
large
large
mouth.
mouth. I've had it for close to 10 years now, and I just can't beat it. So
It's tough up
I-
here. Fish
I
don't
would-
get that big up here.
yeah,
That
like,
often.
a 7-pound large mouth would be nice this year.
Yeah. Cool. And it's
You got
warm.
actually get them both this time.
Yes.
It's on you.
All right. So you got your top 3 setups there with you. Let's hear
Yep.
about them.
All right. So this is a Fitzgerald 7-foot medium heavy Versa. It's my swim bait rod. You know, just like these guys, swim baits are a big deal up here. Largemouth and smallmouth, and it has a Abu Garcia Revo SX 7-to-1 with 12-pound P-line fluorocarbon. I don't know what else to say about it.
It's a good rod.
It's
I use a medium. He prefers a medium heavy. I mean, it's really preference at that
Like
point.
you said,
They're softer.
they have a softer tip.
The only reason I use a medium is because I use a thinner wire hook on my
I
swim
feel
baits.
like on that rod, for some of the time on how we fish the swim bait, you know,
Yeah.
fish
Yeah,
it
like-
deeper.
Yeah,
When I-
You know,
quarter
you
ounce
really
to a
like
half
that.
ounce.
When I throw it on like a football jig head, I use a medium heavy. When I throw it on like my moon eyes that I like, then I throw it on. a
But for
medium.
Dean, that's like,
That's
you know,
his thing.
that's what he likes.
Yeah,
It fits
yeah,
him all
exactly.
around, and you know, he's comfortable with that rod.
All preference.
This is my jig rod. It's a Abu Garcia Ike series. It's a 7.2 medium heavy. This is, you know, what I throw, you know, my half-ounce jigs with. This year I'm trying out the Revo Ike. It's a 8-to-1. I'm gonna have 20-pound P-line fluorocarbon, and it's just a good rod.
I
don't
think
know.
he boat flipped, or no, he didn't boat flip it, but I've seen him catch a 6 on it, 6.5 in MLF. I don't think he boat flipped it though. He screamed a lot
I've seen a lot of big bass fall to that rod.
though.
That's true.
And I broke.
And then my last is a spinning rod. It's this is my oldest rod. I've had this the longest out of all my rods. It is a St. Croix. It's a medium action, fast tip, 6.6. I use this. I really use this all around for all-purpose rod. You know, I
You
drop shot with it. I throw swim
Kind of
baits
like
with
how
it.
I use the
I
Versa.
caught a 5+ pound largemouth and a 4.5 pound smallmouth on the same day on this rod.
Yep.
Same way I use the Versa. It's
And
kind of
just-
an all-around finesse
Yeah,
rod.
just like these guys, I'm also running a Quantum Smoke S3. This one's a Speed Freak with 15-pound P-line braid. To usually running 8 or 10-pound fluorocarbon leader.
I just think the Quantum spinning reels, you get so much bang for your buck with the
Yeah.
Quantum spinning reels.
Yep. They're smooth. They got a good drag, and
And they're
last.
affordable.
Yeah, and they're affordable.
And if you take care of them, they're gonna last a long time.
I don't take care of my reels, and that reels last me a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Not saying you shouldn't take care of your reels, but
No.
I'm just lazy and I beat them up, you know. So
that's pretty much it, dude. That's the squad. Do I? Why do I keep trying to cut you off? Oh, favorite lake to fish.
Favorite lake to fish, Lake Champlain.
Damn.
It fits my style. Like I said, I like fishing a jig. I like punching.
but
I like fishing on weeds. But I've only fished southern Champlain, so
that's what I was getting.
there's a whole other world north that I need to learn,
Right.
and that might make me like it even more. So I mean, that lake has everything. It has big smallmouth, big largemouth. You know, you can go different areas and fish any style you want.
Yeah, I need to get there.
That's a
I
lot of
haven't
fun.
fished there yet.
That's my favorite lake too.
We've I've never fished Champlain and they've never fished Oneida, so we need to kind of rectify that situation this year.
Yeah.
Well, we will because we have a state event there. But is that it now?
That's it.
That's it now. Okay, so that's the team. This year we're gonna try to do bigger things. You're gonna see how we kind of interact on like these long trips, and hopefully it's as fun for you as it is for us because it is a ball. Like when we all get together, it's all fishing. You're going to the lake, you're coming home, you're going to get food, and then you're in your boat for 3 hours really.
You know?
Like getting stuff ready for the next day. There's banter back and forth. There's crap talking. I almost see that. I caught myself.
You're getting better.
So get ready. This year is going to be bigger. They're going to do some stuff by themselves. Hopefully, I'm still going to continue to do stuff by myself. But we're also going to do things together. Maybe we can get a couple trips with each other, and maybe we'll get some trips with all three of us, which is going to be a very packed boat. But stay tuned. If you do like some of the stuff we're putting out, because we are going to put out some new series and stuff like that, please let us know in the comment section. Tell your moms, tell your friends, tell your uncles, tell your brothers. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and we'll just keep bringing you more content. So take care. See you guys later.
Thanks for watching.
Peace.